This is the Chapter 16 Principles and Strategies of Teaching and Designing IEP for Learners with Difficulties with Self-Care. So, learners with intellectual disabilities or ID specifically have difficulty remembering motivation to learn. Therefore, in dealing with these learners, it is important to break information and are typically slower at attending to tasks. They may even exhibit low down goals into smaller steps to use all possible senses and have hands on learning. And that there should be at least one teacher for every three learners with ID. Parents, teachers, and other professionals can widen learners' opportunities to become successful to allow increased time for repetition and consolidation of skills. It is also recommended by working hand in hand in providing least restrictive environments that will nurture the skills, behaviors, and attitudes. So, what is intellectual disabilities? So, these intellectual disabilities is for like example na yung may mga dyslexia or yung mga hindi nakakapagbasa ng maayos or yung may mga autism na hindi sila nakakapag-communicate or hindi nila natututunan or hindi sila mabilis makapag-observe ng mga information. And these intellectual disabilities are existing sa mga learners dito sa buong mundo, international po. So, this intellectual disabilities um, can, it is important na kailangang maintindihan nating mga teachers na ito ay dapat dapat pagtuunan ng pansin. Kasi kapag hindi natin napagtuunan ng pansin yung intellectual disability na 'to, it is possible na baka mawalan ng self-esteem yung bata para matuto siya or para kung may kasi lahat naman ng bata merong pangarap sa buhay, kasi baka dun sa disability na yun, baka mawalan siya ng pag-asa na maabot niya yung gusto niyang abutin. Halimbawa kung lumaki na siya or kung halimbawa makapag-isip na siya ng mag-isa or maging adult na siya. So, ito nga, it is also recommended na kailangang we work hand in hand in providing least restrictive environments that will nurture their skills, behaviors, and attitude. So, kailangang hindi to, kailangan pagtuunan ng pansin, kailangang nakafocus ka sa kanila. So, next one, yung in the past, learners with mild intellectual disabilities were usually placed in self-contained classrooms in public schools. So, yung mga may disabilities na to, nakahiwalay sila sa mga normal na estudyante para parang naghahalo silang lahat, pero yung may mga inihiwalay yung mga with disabilities or intellectual disabilities na mga bata to make them focus, to make them na maturuan sila ng maayos. And learners with moderate and severe intellectual disabilities were placed in special schools. So, kung yung bata talaga is hindi talaga siya nakakapagsulat or nakakapagbasa ng maayos or sobrang moderate or severe na nung intellectual disabilities nila, merong mga special schools para sa kanila and their parents yung magde-decide kung ipapasok ba sila doon or kung doon ba talaga sila makaka makakapag-isip or matututo ng maayos. So nowadays, learners with intellectual disabilities are starting to be educated in general education classrooms. So ngayon, hindi naman na siya sobrang old school kagaya ng dati. So yung mga bata na may intellectual disabilities is natututo na sila kasama yung mga kaklase nila na nakakapagbasa or nakakapagsulat ng maayos. Kasi minsan nasa classmates din 'yan, kung gusto niyang turuan yung kaklase niya na magbasa or tuturuan niya. Kasi we should have a better communication or kung maganda yung environment nung bata na yun, mas makakapag-absorb or mas matututo siya. So, however, study shows that complete immersion in the academic curriculum can be restrictive and ineffective for learners with intellectual disabilities. So, it is then recommended that their curriculum should center on functional academics. That is the most useful parts of reading, writing, arithmetic, and science. So, sa studies na to, um, kailangan kung yung dapat may complete immersion in the academic curriculum na restrictive or ineffective with intellectual disabilities. So, sinasabi dito na kung ngayon yung curriculum ngayon is nakakapag nakaka na tuturuan na yung batang with na may ID na makapagbasa, dapat mas lalo siyang bonggahan. Dapat mas lalong i like yung dapat i-focus siya dun sa reading, writing, arithmetic, and science. Kasi yung mga subject na ganito or yung mga intellectual na na ginagawa ng isang normal na bata is natututunan siya kapag lumalaki siya. Pero kapag may ID or intellectual disability yung bata, hindi siya natututunan agad and sobrang mabagal yung learning nila. So, kailangan na it is recommended nga na dapat sa curriculum, nakasenter siya dun sa functional academics na dapat nilang matutunan, hindi yung paligoy-ligoy pa. So, choosing content targets for functional academics can be challenging. Some skills might be left out, but certain learners may find them very useful. Teachers assess skills based on their impact on Independence and Success in Life by Beck et al. 1994 asserted in their study that the ultimate approach to determining if a given skill qualifies as functional curriculum is to contemplate this question from the learner's perspectives. So, some skills nga daw might be left out. Pero, kung yung nagfo-focus lang tayo dun sa functional academics, is kung medyo mahirap man yun para dun sa bata, dapat mas lalo siyang i-focus dun sa subject na yon. Kasi, kailangan nilang matutunan yung basic na subject na yon para mas mag-flourish yung IQ nila or yung mga matututunan nila. So, to this question, will I need it when the learners with intellectual disabilities will have? So, teachers pa rin yung mag-decide or teachers pa rin yung mag adjust para dun sa bata. So, kung may ituturo ka dun sa bata, dapat ilagay mo din yung sarili mo to make them para mag-work yung yung tinuturo mo sa kanila. Kasi, kung basta ka lang nagtuturo dun sa bata, walang mangyayari at baka mas lalong hindi nila maintindihan o baka kawawa yung bata kapag lumaki siya. So, sa answer dun sa question na yon is a crucial because it helps shape educational plans for learners with intellectual disabilities. Teachers should combine academic skills with practical skills. This approach will support learners in becoming self sufficient and able to function independently in both their current and future situations. So, sabi ko nga, dapat yung teachers yung mag-adjust na dapat talagang yung academic skills ng teachers is dapat hindi naman sobrang taas pero may naiituro siya at also yung naituturo niya is natututunan din ng bata na yun. So, educational approaches. The following educational approaches could be applied to both learners with intellectual disabilities and autism spectrum disorder and to those with difficulties with self-care. So, these educational approaches is itinuturo dun sa mga may autism, may spectrum disorder, or dun sa mga bata na hindi marunong na alagaan yung sarili nila. So, active student response or ASR. This is a strategy that promotes active student engagement in their own learning. ASR gives attention to the participation of all learners at a whole class or group level as they actively respond to teacher questions at the same time. So, yung ASR is parang halimbawa kung nagtuturo ka sa isang classroom at nagtanong ka dun sa klase, dapat tatanungin mo sila yes or no or or tama ba or mali or like sign na ganito yung like or dislike. So, ASR involves 6 discrete steps as follow. So, active student response or ASR, yung mga steps para para mas mag-work yung mga ituturo mo doon sa bata or para mas mag-sink in sa kanya yung lesson na ituturo mo. So, number one, teachers poses a question. So, yun magpo-pose or magtatanong yung teacher ng question. So, number two, pupils are given thinking time to formulate an answer. So, kung sa basic lang or sa mga bata na mga kinder or like 5 plus 5, yun, nag-iisip na yung mga bata niyan kung ano yung isang sagot nila dun sa question na yun. So, number three, all pupils all pupils respond at the same time in active manner with each pupil required to respond on an individual basis. This could be with the use of cardboards or sheets of papers with responses such as A, B, C, D, true or false, or like or dislikes as presented in the figure below. So, yung katulad nito na may like or dislike. So, dapat lahat ng mga bata is nagre-response doon para alam natin na tama ba yung mga sinasagot nila or tama or may mali or baka kapag nalaman natin yung lahat ng mga response nila, baka pwede pa nating i-improve yung pagtuturo. So, number four, teacher reviews pupils' answers by scanning the individual pupils' responses which provide direct insight into the pupils' learnings. So, dito, dapat chine-check na yan. Halimbawa, pagkatapos nila mag-response, i-scan na yan nung teacher para may malaman siya or para mas kanya or baka makapag-isip siya ng mga bagay na natutunan nung bata. So, number five, teacher provides feedback based on pupils' responses. So, katulad ng parang nagsiscore ka dun sa exam, like halimbawa sa essay or kung ano yung mga gusto nilang gawin or doon sa mga halimbawa doon sa mga sa math, doon parang magse-score ka or halimbawa very good or good or kailangan pa ng more practice or more learning. So number six, teaching is adjusted when required. So kapag walang improvement doon sa bata, kailangan na mag-adjust when required lang naman. So the use of ASR is not only for post instruction but could also serve to assess prior learning of learners. Immediate corrective feedback can also be done through this strategy whereby additional information can be used to modify instruction or to reteach or clarify key concepts. So by this, kahit basic lang siya or kahit madali lang siyang gawin, malalaman mo pa rin kung ano mo yung dapat ituro mo or kailangan mong i-improve dun sa pagtuturo sa mga bata.